Hello and welcome. I am Smithy G. With me, as always, my main man, Dr. Luchados. How are you doing, my brother?
Hello.
Quick and easy to the point, dude.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say. We're here again.
It's that time of the week. We are back and a bit of a streamy stream, like, you know. How have you been for the past week, bro, since the last one?
Feeling good. Living. Doing my thing like a chicken wing.
As
What
you
about
do.
you?
Not too bad, but not too bad. You know, been cracking on, putting some plans in place for today's pod. Few little bits of this, little bits of that, you know. Bit of work, bit of this, bit of that. But, you know, feeling good. Looking forward to today's pod. And we got a doozy today, but before we get into that, we're going to start, as we always do, with our tradition of beer of the week. Your beer of the week, Oz, what have you got for me?
Do you know, I was quite torn because I have got a couple of beers tonight, but I haven't really been beering. What have I got here? So look. Oh, the lovely Indian lager. Cobra.
Oh, a bit of Cobra, you say?
A little bit of the snake.
Ooh, you cheeky devil, you.
So, yeah, but mine is the old snake, the old Cobra. What about you, pal?
Well, I did some soul searching. You know, I've always gone with the Heineken or Kronenberg. You know, it's always been my go-to. But I went to the local supermarché. And I was browsing. I was thinking to myself, what can I promote this week? And I thought I seen a beer which I hadn't seen for quite some time. And I thought, go on, I'm gonna have one of them because I haven't had one for a while. And I went with a McEwen's Lager Export.
Now, I haven't heard of them in years.
I hadn't, and I seen it there, and I was like, do you know what? It's been a long time since I've had a McEwen's. Probably since the last time I was touring up in Scotland, and I thought, go on, I'm gonna go with McEwen's. So Smithy G's beer of the week goes to McEwen's Export. There you go.
I can't fault that one. I didn't even know they existed anymore.
I know. I was really surprised, man. I was really surprised that to see him there. Like, you know, it was. And I was looking through, and I was like, I was looking at like Holsten Pills. I thought, I haven't had a Holsten Pills in a long time. And then just below it, I seen McEwen's Export, and I thought, do you know what? It's time to become the Drew McIntyre of TWD and become the Scottish Warrior, like.
The Big Daddy Drew, not on the Iron Brew.
Exactly. So I went McEwen's Export. So my beer of the week goes to McEwen's Export. Nice now.
Nice. Nice, can't fault that. Well, anyway, what I'm going to do anyway, similar to what we did last week, is I'm just going to simulate some Royal Rumbles. We're going to talk, we're going to have a beer, whatever, do our thing. The world's most unprofessional podcast. We got no setup. We've got no run sheets. We just let it do his own thing, really, don't we?
We do it. But what I thought we'd do today...
If you look at the screen a moment, right, I'm getting ready to go to a Rumble now. I'm not actually Farouk, right? But I'm picking Farouk to go in as the simulated... is it the Simulee for the Royal Rumble? The Simuli or the Simule?
Simule. I don't even know on that one, but I like the way it sounds, so we'll go with Simule.
Okay, I'll start up, and then you do your thing, Uncle Stanley.
Well, that's the plan. Well, what I thought we'd do today is obviously as we said, we're gonna do some simulations first, just to kick it off, and then when we get a few things going, and then if we get some participation in the chat, then we hand over to the chat, and then our very own Dr. Luchados will take the controls, and we'll play some matches of your choice. So that's going to be a little bit of fun. So what I thought we'd start with today.
Whoa now, right? Before you start signing me up to stuff, right? Let's see how many of these beers deep I get, right?
Oh, I'm sure you'll get a few. I'm sure you'll have a few.
Yeah,
But what I thought we'd do...
I've been on a self-help journey at the moment. I am looking after myself, but it's recording night tonight, baby.
Oh my God, Big Daddy Cool Diesel says come in.
Big Kev.
Damn. Right, so what I thought we'd start with today, before we get into our actual theme for this week, I thought we'd start off with some news and what we thought of the last week or so in the world of the grapples. Like, so what's your thoughts so far?
So what's been going on? Quiet news week this week, right?
Well, it's not been
not a lot been going on of it in the news.
Well, there's quite a few things that we got to discuss. Obviously, we've got the major announcement
to be honest with you, right?
WWE.
To be honest with you, I was kind of just messing around then. Everything happened this week.
Yeah, it kind of did. So obviously we've got the big one, which is obviously WWE's announcement of The Rock joining their board of directors and announcing in 2025.
TKO Holdings, he's on the board. He is actually the head of the table.
Yeah, that's got to be a kick in old Roman's reins, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, and the announcement of WWE actually going over to Netflix starting from January 2025. What's your thoughts?
That's going to be an interesting move, that is. Business-wise, I've been reading into it that it's over a 10-year deal worth $5 billion, and Netflix have I believe they have the right to renegotiate it after 5 years. So if it's a success, they'll continue. If not, I think they can pull the plug after 5 years. But that's a big deal, that is. You're not going to have the old TV ratings and all that nonsense now on a Monday night on a TV network. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Personally, I think it's a good move, to be honest, because streaming has been the main platform for anything TV-wise over the last 10 years, would you say?
Yeah, gotta be.
Everything seems to be going in that direction now. So
what I'm interested to know with it is obviously we all pay our subscriptions for the network and things like that. Are they going to be dropping? Are they going to be dropping the network? Is the premium live events now going to be taking part on Netflix? Are they going to be on the network? And what I'd love to know, because obviously it's early days of the announcement, what I am interested to find out, because I'm sure we're going to get a lot of mixed reviews on when they do announce it, is what is going to be the deal with the premium live events in terms of, are we going to have to pay for them again? Or is it all included in the subscription itself?
Well, I read a little bit into it. So from my understanding, it looks like WWE are going to be taking the Peacock route with Netflix. So I think the Peacock deal is only in the States, I believe, isn't it?
I think it is, yeah.
Because we never had Peacock, we've still had the WWE Network, that's still ongoing in the UK. But nothing was really made clear as to whether or not the network was going down. That's kind of what was said, but not really directly said that the network was going. It was more of a fact that Raw was going to be like a live, and then also then you'd have like, I'm guessing you'd have like replays of SmackDown or whatever on it. I'm guessing they'll have their own WWE section on their documentaries, past shows. So like a back catalogue of WWE on Netflix. It may eventually move over that the network goes. They'll just be predominantly WWE on Netflix. So I don't think they're going to go back to the pay-per-view route. They'll probably come under the subscription.
This is what I was wondering, because are they going to do what AEW have got? AEW have obviously got their subscription through Fight and stuff like that.
Yeah, they got AEW Plus on there, haven't they? Personally, I think AEW now need to pull the trigger on their own streaming network. TNA going.
Yeah.
I think AEW's next big move needs to be that streaming service.
Well, this is what I'm thinking as well, see, because obviously with AEW, they've got their AEW Plus through Fight. But they charge then obviously for the pay-per-views, which I think, for me personally, WWE have done extremely well with, is the fact that with the network you're paying that £10 per month. They think that you paid for that in terms of things. They don't charge it, even for the likes of WrestleMania, where they could probably charge for it. I know they charge via BT Sports or TNT Sports as it is now.
Do me a favour, brother. Sorry to interrupt you. You've got a bit of mic crackle going on. Like I told you, world's most unprofessional podcast. We go live and things happen. Just your mic, brother. You're crackling.
Right, how's that now? Is that better?
Keep talking.
Is that better? 1, 2, check.
You're still a little bit crackling.
Try that now.
It's not so bad.
How's that now?
Yeah, that'd be alright.
Right, cool. But yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, it's like with in terms of WWE, they've done very well with the network. Is the fact that they haven't been charging, especially with the likes of the big events, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, where they could be charging for them, but they don't, because obviously they know they've got a millions and millions strong fan base that are paying for that network. They think the people have paid for them. Are they going to go down that route and stick to that, or are they going to do what AEW do? Granted, AEW charge a lot, a little bit less for their AEW Plus on Fight.
Yeah.
But then they charge big bucks in for the premium live events themselves. So, I really hope they don't go down that route. I hope they do keep they structure in that terms.
The thing with AEW on Fight is you pay for AEW Plus, which basically gets you the weekly shows live on Fight, yeah?
Yeah.
The pay-per-views don't come as part of that package, but I believe you may get a percentage off. I may be wrong there, but I know you still pay for pay-per-views. I know the pay-per-views are not a part of that package. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you get a percentage off of that. I may be wrong, but I know from past experiences, from trying AEW Plus, I still pay for pay-per-views on Fight.
Yeah. Well, we do know that how big this announcement is and things. So as news go, I would say that is pretty up there as very, very, very big in terms of what's going to happen with, especially with the fact that with them on TNT, with more being on TNT Sports and stuff like that, you either stay up late, UK time you stay up until 1 o'clock in the morning to watch it, or you've got to wait for TNT themselves to actually physically rerun the show later at a later date.
Or you end up just watching clips on YouTube like I do.
Yeah, or that. So, it's
Mike, Mike Vol is a tad quiet in the chat. That's all right. After this match, I'll turn the volume down on the game.
Is that better? But anyway, as I was saying, so we're going to get, with them being on Netflix, we're obviously going to be able to re-watch those episodic shows whenever we feel like, so we're going to be, you haven't got to worry about the rerun, shall we say, it's, you can just go on there and watch it whenever you please. So I think that's going to be, I
personally think, though, right, if AEW had a streaming service, right, it would open up more avenues for those, because have we got any AEW documentaries? We haven't, have we?
Not yet. No, is
I know we've got no, not at all. They got the back catalogue of Ring of Honor, man.
There is that. I didn't think of that. Yeah, there is that. Oh, but that Farouk is going for gold there.
He's going all the way, baby. Ron Simmons, EPA.
Everyone, He is going
But yeah, I'm trying to
crazy,
think now. I know AEW have done some little bits and bobs, and I know they had what was the TV series they had?
Oh,
The reality show they had.
Yeah.
Where they were talking about Adam Cole's injury. Following
All Access.
All Access. Yeah, that was the one. Yeah. I know they had that, so they could put that on there. I know they dipped their toes in other areas, but if you think of it now, if they had a streaming service, they could start making their own documentaries. They could start having their own little mini-series. I know it's all fine and well with YouTube. Don't get me wrong, YouTube is probably a good revenue stream for them. But if you look in long term, you want monthly subscribers, which is going to open up more avenues for them. That's my opinion anyway.
And with AEW, they've got a good starter to actually get it going with Being the Elite. They could move Being the Elite over onto the streaming service, and people who are diehard.
Being the Elite is not AEW, bro.
It may not be under the official AEW banner, but it is AEW, isn't it? But
that's the Bucks. The Bucks have been doing that for
they've been doing it for some time. There's no doubt.
They've been doing it for a long time.
But you could take it to the same sort of thing as up, down, down, I suppose. You know, obviously that has always been Xavier Woods and stuff, but obviously they incorporated stuff into WWE's programming with the up, down, down stuff. And
yeah, I think up, down, down may be a little bit different. Was that always under the WWE banner? Not sure about that. Not getting into it. Might be wrong.
Yeah.
What else happened
but anyway,
this week?
back to the news. What has happened this week? Obviously, two good shows from the past couple of days in WWE with SmackDown and Raw. I think the end on SmackDown was brilliant with Orton finishing on top after beating Solo was class, and obviously laying out Roman after he signed the contract was brilliant. I thought Seth's promo on Raw for the injury and everything, I thought was done and handled really, really well.
Oh, do you know that as well? It makes me think that there's been that Rumble.
I hope it does, but I was thinking this myself.
I have changed my mind so many times in the last couple of days.
I know. I gotta be honest with you, I was thinking this to myself when I was watching Raw on Monday night. I much prefer Gunther versus Seth. I think to do Seth and CM Punk so quickly would wreck the rivalry a little, because he's done so quickly.
I don't know. I think
there's loads more build.
I think that's their set, really. Do you know what I mean? I know WWE might probably change the plans, and they might keep the fan script a little bit longer to prolong it.
Yeah,
which they might end up doing, but
I kind of like that. I kind of like that they would.
Anyway, let's talk about quickly now, right? Just before we go on to our topic, right? You see the AEW card for tonight?
Absolutely. Suzuki versus Adam Copeland, get it in my veins, man.
No, that's a match. That's a match I never knew I needed.
No.
Need it now.
When I seen the card, I was absolutely blown away.
Swerve, Jeff Hardy.
Going to be a mega match.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy's teasing a heel turn after on Rampage on. Yeah, it was on Rampage on Friday. Him and Darby. He refused to shake hands with Darby and walked after him.
Yeah.
Might get a Hardy's heel turn. Hangman, Penta.
Penta and Hangman, yeah, that's going to be awesome.
That's not it. Wardlow, Trent.
Yeah. That's just going to be a squash match, that isn't it? Let's be fair. Wardlow's just going to batter Trent right. Like that's just going to be that. Like,
I don't feel like there's way more announced. Sting and Darby are talking, I know that.
And then Tony Storm is confronting
Fiona.
They said Fiona and Tony are having a promo, I think.
It's the face.
Yeah.
Dynamite's going to be good tonight.
Yeah. Been a bit quiet on the TNA front, though. I think. I think.
Whoa, now. What are you on about? Quiet on a. I can't even speak now. Did you watch Ospreay and Josh Alexander? Did you see that match?
I didn't see it all. I've seen little snippets. But what I mean by
go and watch the full match.
What I mean by not much being things from it is like obviously where they've just had the return. I would have thought they would have been full throttle now. And
Okada's on it this week, bro.
Okada'll be interesting.
Okada is teaming with the Motor City Machine Guns against the System, Moose, Eddie Edwards, and Brian Myers.
That's another bit of news to discuss with Okada, with the rumours that we've been reading that Okada looks to be going to WWE and possibly on NXT.
Why?
I don't understand the NXT move with the name like Okada.
I get the WWE move.
Oh, 100% I get the move.
Why?
You know, the matches that he could have on the main roster is, yeah, granted the main roster is a little bit stacked and there is more people fighting for the main positions now.
Yeah. The only reason I think Okada going to NXT is maybe only to learn the way how WWE operate their TV and where the cameras are. That's the only reason I can think why.
Possibly, yeah. Possibly, that does make sense.
That's the only reason I can think.
As we've discussed, as we've both said many times before, WWE's production is light years ahead of anybody's. So perhaps what you said there is actually,
yeah, just seeing how their production runs. You know what I mean? Where cameras are, trying to get a feel for it. Because I think Okada's only done American TV in AEW, hasn't he?
I believe so, and obviously TNA and
yeah, but on a but you know, like on a major TV network scale, our TV network run.
Yeah,
I think definitely. He's only been on AEW, hasn't he? He's never been on well, what other major TV network has run a wrestling company in the last? Well, TNA used to be on Spike.
Yeah.
So they have had TV deals. I know they haven't had fantastic ones over the last couple of years, but they've been on TV. But I think TNA operate a little bit differently with their cameras. You know what I mean? Smaller venues. But I think I know what NXT is. NXT still in the Performance Center, yeah?
I think so, yeah, but I think they are due to go back out on the road soon, aren't they? There has been discussions of them actually taking everything out on the road again. But,
I know sometimes they do dabble in house shows, but it's probably just to get a feel for how WWE run their TV, to be honest, because WWE probably run their TV a little different to how AEW runs it, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, of course, yeah.
And they're going to be changing stuff again now. Kevin Dunn's on WWE, you know what I mean? So they're probably going to be looking at complete new production. They've already looked at a new, like, entrance stage and all that, haven't they? On Raw, that was new. And last week, I think they've had it for the last 2 weeks.
And it does.
I want them to bring back that curved one where Kevin Owens ran up like it was Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I like that one.
and SmackDown need to bring back the fist.
Bring back the fist.
Bring back the fist. Yeah, fist, folks.
The last bit of news we need to talk about is quite fit into our topic that we're going to be talking about today. Because we're going to be talking about wrestling games. And perfect way to segue, as they say, all the cool kids and the cool cats. WWE announced a lot of details of 2K24, the cover athletes, We've got some little details of what's going to be included. I think we've got little details of release dates, the DLC packages. So, yeah. So I believe. Well, I don't believe I know. It's nonsense, aren't I? So on the standard edition, Cody Rhodes is going to be the cover athlete. Deluxe edition is going to be Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, and then you've got the 40 years of WrestleMania version then, where it is just a mishmash of everyone who's been a massive legend over the last 40 years of WrestleMania. How do you feel about that?
Just yearning to explain it as literally giving me chills. This is the WWE game we've been waiting for, man. They've been, obviously, we're not going to talk about the worst WWE game of the last God knows how long in 2K20, because it was just a really bad game. It was a rush. So
had a shudder then, I did.
The only match we could actually get to work online was the Elimination Chamber. Like,
really though? No, really? Because sometimes we would be doing the match and we'd end up in different servers fighting AI. So no. Take back your statement, Uncle Stanley.
I'll take it back.
Remember?
Slightly. We did get the odd couple of matches where we did actually play the full match.
Dude, we'd have 4 of us playing, right? We'd have 4 of us playing in a lobby. We'd have two other like randomers online playing with us, okay? And then you would turn around and go, "Yes, I've won." I go, "What are you on about? I've got you in a figure 4." And you'd send me a photo of like, "I've won." I'm like, "No, you haven't." And I send you a photo of the match still continuing.
It was broken beyond belief, but they realised that it wasn't doing what they wanted it to do. So obviously we didn't get a 2K21. So it was 2K22 was the next release.
Oh, we got Battlegrounds.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Battlegrounds. I feel Battlegrounds was frowned upon a little easy, to be honest. We knew it wasn't going to be a fantastic game, but it was alright for what it was. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't brilliant, but I think it gets a bit of a bad rap because it was in the situation, because it came after 2K20. That's my opinion. I don't think Battlegrounds was that bad. I think it was a little bit of fun, don't get me wrong. It wasn't brilliant, but I think it gets a bit of a bad rap.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe. I'll give you a maybe on that one. But as we think, from 2K22 they started to put a little bit more into it, which grabbed our attention a little bit. Obviously we got the GM mode, which came in, which we hadn't had, I believe, since WWE 13.
No, GM mode. Oh, GM mode, you were talking back SmackDown vs Raw days.
Was it? I thought they had something on 13 which was similar. Nope. Maybe not full GM, but...
Nope, GM mode was literally back in SmackDown vs Raw.
Ah, okay, fair enough. I thought we had something...
I think the last time we had a GM mode was 7 or 8.
But they did seem to put a little bit more effort in, which the gameplay was a lot better. There was more stability with the online gaming, and then this one again has been
last one was 08, yeah. Last GM mode was 08, and they made his return in 2K22.
Well, there we are then. That's the longest game, but they put a lot more effort into it. Then this one came out for 2K23. Again, the engine which they used from 2K22, and I believe they used the same engine for the 23. It just plays and looks great. The crowd look better. The gameplay is brilliant. The function of the career modes and the modes inside the game are a heck of a lot better. And they've upped their game again on 2K24. Oh my god, when that comes out, I I can see we're gonna play that religiously, kind of like what we did when the AEW game came out, and which we will get to in a little while. But as far as going back to the last of our news stuff, obviously with this release of 2K24, the announcement, just getting my veins, because the backstage brawls that you're gonna have on there looks mega.
I think they're having a whole new area.
Yeah,
I read something that they're going to have like a working elevator. Who went in the chat, the road to WrestleMania back in 2009 was something I'm like on. That was, was it SmackDown? That was what, SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. Road to Wrestle. Oh, you talking about the Legends of WrestleMania game? Well, the Road to WrestleMania was on the SmackDown vs. Raw games, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was that where the Road to WrestleMania? That was like where you could be like Christian, or you could be Taker.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah. That's what we're talking about.
This is the thing. It's like with the stuff which they added in, like with the special guest referee stuff. Apparently now that they're throwing in the you can jump over the ropes into multiple opponents.
Yeah.
Apparently there's going to be like a little mini game inside it for back and forth brawling, which I think is going to be awesome. Which is just going to add a thing, another string to their bow. It's just the whole thing of it is.
Yeah.
And the way they've tied in the finishing the story and stuff like that into the whole trailer, and I just can't wait for it. I think they're going to hit the nail on the head with this one.
From what I've seen, I was looking on the PlayStation Network. I haven't actually seen an official release date, but what I did read was, by the looks of things, it's going to be standard edition is going to be out on the 8th of March, and then the deluxe and the 40 years of WrestleMania mode is not the 40 mode, but the 40 years of WrestleMania edition is going to be 3 days early, so it's going to be on the 5th.
Which one do you think you were going to go for?
Oh, do you know what, man? The Road to WrestleMania. He went out, he could put my head. Cheers, man. The 40 years of WrestleMania one's a little bit pricey, but somebody has a birthday around there.
Oh, I wonder who that could be.
I don't know. Maybe my wife and my son will split. I don't know. I don't know yet, to be honest with you. I'll weigh it up. Oh, I've just noticed as well, looking on screen, the last two of the Legends Rumble I put together is Hogan and Andre. Speaking of 40 years of WrestleMania, the main event of WrestleMania 3.
We didn't plan this, guys. We didn't plan it.
Simulated. My hands are on a beer and on my pad.
What? I'm more than likely, I gotta be honest, so I think that I'm probably gonna go for the 40 year. You're
gonna go big bucks Barney by it.
To be honest with you, I think I'm gonna go big bucks Barney on this one, because I personally think it just looks like it's gonna be amazing, and the fact that you can relive a lot of the moments from past manias and
I think that's going to be the showcase. That's going to be included in the game anyway. I think the 40 years of WrestleMania edition, I think you're going to get like your bonus added on, and you can get like your DLC to go with that.
Yeah.
Who knows? I might be a big Bugs Barney and splash out on it like you. I'll weigh my options up. I'll have a look where places have it for sale, because as you understand, if you buy it digitally, probably going to get fleeced.
Oh, I don't doubt it, but I would imagine like they always do. They always do like a digital release thing where you get something with it, don't know. So
yeah, the last WWE game that I bought, the Mad Edition, because I really wanted it, because I'm a Flay fan. What was the one? My wife is here. Hang on a sec. My wife might know. Well, what was the Ric Flair one I had? What year was that? Was that 2K18 or 17? The Woo edition? And you had the Funko Pop? You had a bit of
And
Flair's
you had
robe.
bit
You
of
had the
the
Hall of
robe
Fame
and
ring. You had all that. What year was that? Was it 2K18?
Well, 17 was the Brock Lesnar one, wasn't it? With the one with Brock on the front.
That was the Suplex City one, wasn't it?
Yeah, the 18 one then. 18,
Was
I
it-
think,
was the
the one when you had
18 was the 18?
Finn Balor.
Was
The
he?
Demon Finn Balor figure.
I'm trying to think. The special edition one. I've got it upstairs. I just can't be bothered to go and get it because I'm on you.
I think it would be 19.
Oh, I don't think it. No, I think it might be 19 because I got the steel cover
Yeah,
with
the
AJ on it.
18 would have been the Demon Balor figure, wouldn't it?
That was 80. Yeah, it was 2K19 was the Woo edition. That was the last time I bought a special edition one.
Yeah.
So I haven't had one in the last couple of years. So I might.
I was tempted by the NWO for Life edition, which came out.
I know, but
2K22, but
I look at it, right, and I look at what they include, and I know the season pass eventually pays for itself, and you get a deluxe edition. But you know the added bonus. Just seen on eBay, WWE 2K19 Woo edition selling for £170. They win in the chat. You won. Do me a favour. Actually, go and have a look. Right, what's included in that pack is the stuff that was included. That's crazy. That's the last time I bought a special edition. Andre won the Rumble as well.
I don't understand that, because Hogan had him on the ropes and literally he was stunned. He could have just knocked him out, and Hogan just stood there and just looked at him like hoping to give him the Hogan stare down.
Yeah.
Like.
I'm going to simulate another one, but you know.
But anyway, we've talked about 2K20, the 2K recent series and the release. It's now time, I think, to get on to our scheduled programming. Today's, if you haven't already noticed, today's topic of choice is wrestling games, and it's actually our part 2 series, because we did one in our early days of our pod.
Can I please just tell you now, right? You know when we did the wrestling games one, when we did it on Spotify?
Yeah.
We were like stupidly new to this. Didn't really know what we were doing. You know, if you go back and listen to it,
yeah,
it's an absolute shambles. Do you want to know why?
Why is that?
At the time, I was learning how to do Spotify podcasts, yeah?
Yeah.
It sounds more like a radio show, because we were talking about songs that was on the games, yeah?
Yeah.
When I was putting the snippets of songs on the podcast, it's playing full songs.
I haven't got back and listened to it all.
I have.
Oh God.
And I don't look back with happiness. I look back at what were we doing? So yeah, this one's not going to be on Spotify. This one's exclusive to YouTube. I tell you what I will quickly do, because we did hear that the audio was a little bit off. I'm going to go turn the game audio down a smidge. So
options, I think.
Yeah, that's cool. Anyway, fire away, Uncle Stanley. What are we talking about?
Yeah, so if you're just joining us, guys, we are talking wrestling games, past, present, and possible future. What we like, what we didn't like, what we think could have been done better, and this, that, the other, and where we see wrestling games going in the future. So we're gonna start with first wrestling games we ever played. That's where we'll start them off. So I think we'll give you the first one on this one, because mine goes back a little bit before your time, but I'm sure you would have played those games anyway. But let's start with yours first. Well, so your first ever wrestling game you ever played?
Oh.
So you had the digital and exclusive.
Oh my God, I'm trying to think. I do remember. It was the WrestleMania arcade game. Remember that?
The one with Doink used to hit you with a bucket.
Yeah, it was the Midway. Remember Midway took over the licensing?
That's right, yeah.
And they had like the motion captures with like the actual people.
Yeah.
Like they did with Mortal Kombat.
That's right.
That was the first one I ever played, that was. And I played that on the... What did I play that on? I think it was the SNES. Yeah, it was the SNES. And where was that?
I used to love the SNES.
Check. 1995.
I used to love the wrestling games on the SNES.
1995.
The Royal Rumble game on the SNES was wicked, but the WrestleMania arcade game, I got absolutely mega fond memories of playing that when I was a kid. Me and my older brother, we used to have our SNES set up in the living room, and we used to spend hours playing it. And
I tell you what,
I always used to remember.
I'm going to simulate a War Games match while we talk.
Oh, that's a good shout. I remember that Undertaker used to hit you with an actual tombstone.
That's right.
And every time he hit you would literally just crack and fall on the floor. It used to be hilarious.
Bret Hart was on the cover, wasn't he?
That's right. Well, my first wrestling game.
I don't think they had wrestling games out when you started playing. When Abraham Lincoln was a wrestler, eh?
Well, I am an old man.
Old Uncle Stanley. Where did you play?
Right, probably the first wrestling game I ever played would probably
Pick a random.
Probably would have been. I would have played stuff in like the late 80s, early 90s with when I was really small. But the first one that I can actually remember playing properly would probably be Super WrestleMania on the Mega Drive. That would probably be the first one. And I've got mega fond memories of playing that game with my older brother. And the funny thing, because we used to love. I'm a musician, and things I've always had a fondness, especially for wrestling themes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And together wrestling themes to play. You used to have to highlight the wrestler. You'd have to wait about 10 minutes, and then randomly out of nowhere, the music would start playing in 16-bit. Literally in 16-bit. It used to be fantastic. And he used to be sat there waiting, like everyone, me and my brother, we'd be like, oh, just play the game, and then no, he's like, no, I'm listening to this blooming song. And then all of a sudden, randomly it'd start. It was brilliant. It was outstanding.
Who went to the chat? That was the audio number there. But yeah, when moving on then, right? What was the next game you played?
Well, I played the Mega Drive for a long time, until I had my very first PlayStation 1. And we had WWF Warzone. Now we know you've got a lot of things to say about WWF Warzone. So I'm going to let this go to you, my friend. WWF Warzone.
No. You skipped one, man, because I liked In Your House.
Oh, In Your House. Oh, I forgot about that.
In Your House. Yeah, that was a good one. It was, you had a couple more people on here, like Shawn Michaels Vader, Taker, Brett was still on there. Luger was on here, wasn't he?
Luger, Bulldog.
Oh my god, yeah, I remember that. It was basically the WrestleMania arcade game, but just branded In Your House with a couple of new characters. If you also go to our Instagram page, I've got a clip of The Undertaker behind the scenes doing his motion capture for the WrestleMania arcade game, so go check that out.
where the hell you found that, I don't know. It's priceless. If you haven't seen it, guys, go and have a look.
Don't worry about it, right? Where my sources are, right? Because today I put a video of Nick Khan, WWE president, winning the Wheel of Fortune. So don't worry where I get my stuff from.
I did. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But so we go to that infamous WWF Warzone on PS1.
I got two words. I got 2 words to say here. No, actually, no. I'm going to change it. 3 words. Ahmed Johnson promos.
I knew this is where we were going. He used to sound like he was in a steel box.
He sounded like he was talking in a tin of beans. whoever did the sound engineering for that, right? For the Ahmed Johnson promos. Oh wow! But every person's promo sounded like they were in a garage, right? Which was I understand the gist of it, because the green screen is of them in like a warehouse, if I remember correctly. But Ahmed Johnson. Oh, I'm lost for words.
It was delicious. How terrible it was. Like
it was delicious.
delicious. How terrible, man! I'm telling you. It was fantastically terrible.
The words that come to mind for me would never be delicious.
The funny thing was about that. Let's talk about the game itself. The road to winning the belt, like the only sort of career mode you had on it, you'd start like a Mortal Kombat style, climb the table sort of thing. Like.
Yeah.
And you always ended up having, no matter what character you would, they wouldn't like automatically change the order or anything like that. No matter what character you had, it went full Mortal Kombat style where you'd fight you'd fight yourself, and you'd end up fighting yourself.
You'd end up fighting yourself.
And you'd end up fighting yourself.
You know in Warzone and WWF Attitude. Can you remember how long it would take the Undertaker and Kane to throw a punch?
Oh.
You'd start throwing a punch, right? The Undertaker and Kane, right? And in that time, you get punched 7 times in the head.
Well, used to be hilarious about it as well. One of the funniest things I used to love about it is, like, you know, before you'd start the match, they'd walk onto the ramp, do their little taunt.
Yeah.
You'd have a few little sparklers go off, and then they'd walk to the ring.
Hey, Ryan's in the chat. It would take 3 to 5 business days. Spot on.
The funny thing was about it, though, which was hilarious, and they'd come down the ramp, they'd do their taunt, blah blah blah, they'd go in the ring, and just before the bell would sound, they'd taunt each other.
Yeah, but they'd talk, they'd say something, wouldn't they? But they'd stand there just wobbling back and forth.
Yeah.
Just wobbling. And if you remember, it wasn't Warzone, or was it Attitude, where you could unlock Al Snow's head, and it would just be a head walking out with just hands and legs. Well, no, hands and feet.
Yeah, it was a pair of gloves and feet and boots.
That was it. That was Attitude, right?
Yeah.
But if you talk about Warzone and Attitude, they're the same game basically, aren't they?
Pretty. I think the engine was a little bit better on Attitude, but not much better. Like.
It still took, as Ryan in the chat just said, it still took Undertaker and Kane 3 to 5 business days to pro punch. So, thank you for that observation, Ryan.
Yeah, like, I didn't say the engine got loads better, but it did get a little bit better.
Dude, we're talking late 90s now. What were we expecting? At that time, we thought they were the best games of all time.
Well, yeah.
Oh, look at Stone Cold there. Oh, wow. You look back there now, right? He looks like a piece of fudge.
A bit of fun.
A bit of clay. He looks like a clay model.
Do you know what used to make me laugh about it though? It's like obviously with finishers on wrestling games now, it's just a click of a single button. You used to have to press up, down, left, right, triangle, square, circle, X, triangle, your dog's nose, pull its tail, and then kick your mum in the shins to get your wrestler to do a finishing move. Like,
I still don't know how to do that.
nah.
Oh, but talking about that same engine, the ECW games. They were on there. I sent you a video a couple of weeks ago of me playing on. Which one did I find? I got the two. Hardcore Revolution.
Hardcore Revolution.
And Anarchy Rules.
I think it was Hardcore Revolution you said.
Because I've got. For anybody listening, you should know I'm an ECW bar brother. Sure, what it was Hardcore Revolution. Which one was I playing?
Gunther just lobbed Vince McMahon across 2 rings.
Go on, boy.
How mega would it be to see Gunther slap Vince on a him a good old
Yeah,
chop?
it was either Hardcore Revolution or Anarchy Rules. It was one of the two I was playing. I was sending you videos. It's exactly the same game engine as Warzone and Attitude, isn't it? They had the.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So moving on then. So
the only thing I liked about those games though was you had the barbed wire match on there, and you also had the brimstone match.
Oh my god.
You didn't have those on WWE. Oh, Attitude or Warzone, the WWF. Or you say tomato, I say tomato.
Was it Attitude that you was able to have the Inferno match?
No, I don't think so.
Can't remember if it was Attitude.
No, I don't think so.
I know it was one of the earlier WWF games.
I might be wrong. I can't remember. I can't remember what I done yesterday.
So moving on to the next side of things. So we've said about like the Mega Drive, the SNES, PS1. Let's move up to what came next, the N64. Now, N64 has probably got one of the highest rated wrestling games of all time, being
WCW NWO vs. World.
I'm gonna go with no, but good choice. But
you sure?
No, with No Mercy.
Because they had World Tour.
Oh God, like World Tour, remember that? Oh.
Think about this now.
I remember.
There was a couple of WCW games.
I used to like Thunder. I did on PS1. But
I remember Thunder. Remember Mayhem as well?
Yeah, Mayhem was great. Another good game.
Backstage Assault. Remember that one?
Yeah.
No matches in the ring, but you could fight Goldberg and Doug Dillinger, the security guy in a truck stop.
Yeah, that was great.
Doug.
But with the N64, I remember when like WrestleMania 2000 came out, which was a completely different engine again. But that was where they'd finally started to make the finishers a little bit more accessible. Like you didn't have to like press 9 million buttons, kick your hand in the arse, like sort of thing, to get your finishers to work. Like with these, is that you build up your strength like you do in like now, and then you'd get your flashing thing, and then you'd be able to press 2 buttons together to do your finisher. That's where like the engine started to move along and the gameplay started to get a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Creator mode sort of got a little bit more intricate. WrestleMania 2000, I thought, is probably not looked at enough, because I know a lot of major. I know that the AEW game was very much modelled on like No Mercy and the way No Mercy used to play.
You hear this, right, every year because of the cult following of No Mercy. No Mercy got such a cult following, right, that every time like an arcade wrestling game comes out, they're like, "Oh, this is No Mercy." It's not. Stop trying to say you're comparing it to No Mercy and just be like, "Well, no, this is the first of this."
Yeah,
Because
Yeah, I agree.
No Mercy for his time was a fantastic game. But
But
no, go on.
I preferred. Like, don't get me wrong, No Mercy is a reason it's got a cult following is because it was a fantastic game. Personally, I preferred WrestleMania 2000 because I preferred the way it played, and I preferred the game modes that you had on it. Personal opinion. But you could see
Look at you being all different.
Yeah, I know. Look at me.
Look at him being different.
But I personally, preferred it because you could actually see where at the time WWF's games were going. Like the changes were. I don't think you would have had SmackDown versus Raw and stuff like that, and if it wasn't for WrestleMania 2000. I know they were made by. I think they were made by different companies. I can't remember if THQ did.
I think THQ. I think they did.
I can't remember if they did or not. I can't remember if they done WrestleMania 2000. But you could see without WrestleMania 2000, you wouldn't have had No Mercy. You wouldn't have had the SmackDown versus Raw games and things like that because you could see that evolution from.
Yeah, it was THQ.
It was THQ, was it?
Yeah.
But you could see the evolution from 2000 where No Mercy came, and then obviously the SmackDown versus Raw games came. You could see how they were looking to do things from WrestleMania 2000 onwards. And personally, I loved WrestleMania 2000. I absolutely played the living daylights out of that game on my N64.
Yeah. By the time these two games wrapped up, I've always been a PlayStation guy anyway, so I've always just played the PlayStation games. So any other platforms, I'm kind of out of the loop after this, to be honest, because I had a Nintendo 64, I had No Mercy, I had WrestleMania 2000, and then from then on, I just played PlayStation. So any other platforms, I ain't your guy.
Well, I've had you name them. I've had them, like, and I've still got a lot of them. Like, I've had it on the Dreamcast and things like that. I've had my N64.
Yeah.
I played my stuff on the N64s and
I had a Dreamcast.
All the PlayStation.
Yeah, I had a Dreamcast, but I didn't really play it as much as I played the PlayStation. My father was more of a Dreamcast guy when it was the Dreamcast.
I liked the Dreamcast, but again, they didn't really do much with it.
No.
Especially in the terms of the wrestling games, I think the only game I personally played on the Dreamcast for wrestling-wise was Attitude. That was the only one that I can remember bringing out on the Dreamcast. But they probably brought more out. They probably brought more out, but I only ever played personally Attitude on it. But then, obviously,
just look it up.
With the PS
Royal Rumble was on there. Attitude was on there. You had All Japan Pro Wrestling 3, Giant Gram 2000 was on there. Hardcore Revolution, Anarchy Rose. There was a UFC game on there as well.
Yeah.
You had Shin Nippon Pro Wrestling. Attitude was on there.
That's the thing, see, it's like, there is. Like, personally, I only ever played Attitude on it, so I can't really comment on what the rest of the games were like on it, but I personally like the Dreamcast. I like what they did on there, and they did make Attitude a little bit better on there because it was faster at the time, I suppose. I wouldn't say it was better than the PlayStation 1 in any way, but it seemed faster. But obviously, when you talk PlayStation 1, you've got to go to what the best known games of that era would have been, really, wouldn't you? So you've got to go to the SmackDown games, the very first SmackDown game,
which rightfully take their place in time as the greatest series of wrestling games ever made.
Oh, most definitely. Most
It
definitely.
went from the SmackDown games up into the SmackDown versus Raw to what we have today through the 2K series. So if it wasn't for those games, we wouldn't have the level of wrestling games that we have today. So shout out to SmackDown series because they were outstanding.
I loved the very first SmackDown game. Do you know where you were getting? It was the first proper wrestling game. Like, you know, the graphics were legible, shall we say? Like you could actually play as The Rock and it looked like The Rock and all looked like a thumb. Like.
For his time, unbelievable.
Yeah, and
it's very hard to look back now and talk about graphics, and I say this all the time. How can you possibly now go back and say and put yourself in our shoes back there, right, and say about the graphics after, like, you've looked at all the games that have come out?
Yeah, I suppose. So the best you can say is, as you said, for his time.
Yeah.
And like
for his time, for his time when the SmackDown games came out, it was like these are unbelievable.
Like, you
and then SmackDown
really
2.
believe.
Which one was the one that you could fight in the kitchen? Was that 1 or 2? You could fight backstage, you could fight in the kitchen.
I believe you could fight backstage on both, but 2 was where they took it to newer heights and made it look a little bit more real.
Those games started, like, the rosters really started expanding, you know what I mean? They were the biggest rosters and they just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as they moved on. You look at
good matches on there. You had more than one title. You was able to fight for the IC title. You was able to fight for the tag title, which you wasn't able to really do on.
Yeah, there was more you could do. You know what I mean? There was more match types you could do. Yeah, it was the start of something beautiful.
It was. I agree. But then obviously evolved into the, as you said, involving the SmackDown vs. Raw games.
Whoa, now hold your horses now, pal. We haven't talked about Just Bring It. We haven't talked about Shut Your Mouth. Right? We haven't talked about Here Comes the Pain.
I loved Here Comes the Pain.
They were fantastic games. These games then, right, where the career modes and all that opened up more. That's what I always remember from those games.
Yeah. Like the career mode on Here Comes the Pain was always amazing. Like, you could literally go through that career mode so many times and still be like, I love this game so much.
Yeah. But you look at, like, Shut Your Mouth and Just Bring It. That was where, I believe, Just Bring It was the first one for the PS2, wasn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
It was. I'm sure it was.
I believe it was, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure it was the first one for the PS2, Just Bring It. Because that was the first game that I had on PS2.
Yeah. I believe it was, yeah. Like we saying about the evolution of these particular games, like, it just got better and better and better and better. Don't get me wrong, when they got a little bit further down the line, the game started to dip a little. You get one game one year which wouldn't be as good, and then the next year they'd pick it up and then they'd go down again and blah blah blah. But as we know with WWE games, they all seem to stick to that nostalgia style, and it all even with the 2K that we really don't like to talk about. It was, we went out and bought it because of nostalgia of being a WWE game. You got it, like, that's what we do. We've been playing the WWE, WWF games since we were kids.
Yeah, of course. Oh, do you know, before we move on, right? Can I give a little shout out? Remember the Legends of Wrestling game?
Oh, yeah.
Legends of Wrestling 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I've got them over there. I sent you a photo a couple of weeks ago, didn't I?
Yeah, you
of
did.
Legends,
yeah. I played Legends of Wrestling 1. I never played the second.
They've
never played the second.
they've not aged well.
No. To be honest, I'm surprised they made the second one, to be honest. But that's just me. But like, we talk about WWE as, you know, because they broke out so many games. We talked a little bit about the WCW games and whatnot. They brought out some bangers. The ECW brought out some bangers. Let's talk about another banger, one which I don't think gets enough cred, because when it first came out, I probably played it more than I did my WWE games, and that's the TNA game.
Well, you've jumped forward some years, mate. That was like 2008 or 09, wasn't it?
No, I'm jumping forward because we covering WWE, we covering WCW and things. It's like, this is what you're saying. We don't touch on. It's like we could talk forever and ever and ever about WWE games because there's so many of them.
I was going to think, where you running off to?
It's like we could talk forever about them, and we will go back to them, obviously. Like, but we're talking about WWE a lot, so I think switch it up. We talk about, like I said, the WCW, ECW, TNA game. I played that probably at the time more than I did when it first came out. I probably played that more than I did WWE games, because I thoroughly enjoyed the TNA game personally.
So, you know, Saturday now we're watching the Rumble.
Yeah.
I might bring it up.
Don't know.
We all know. I'm quite the old connoisseur of collecting vintage wrestling. Well, it's not vintage. Well, it could be actually 2008 now, today.
Yeah, I suppose you could call it vintage, I suppose. And as we say, it's like it doesn't get enough love. Like, you know, you class the normal WWE games, you class the WCW games before you would any of this. Even like the ECW games, you probably class the ECW games over the TNA games. Like, but
but you look at it this way now, right? Everyone's had a pop at wrestling games. Remember the Backyard wrestling games?
Yeah.
They were great for his time.
Yeah, they were.
They were awesome. The Backyard wrestling games. Remember Rumble Roses?
Oh my God!
All that, and you've had some New Japan wrestling games. I know Wrestle Kingdom, that was a game as well.
Yeah.
There's been so many wrestling games that people tried. Remember Celebrity Deathmatch?
Oh, I used to love Celebrity Deathmatch.
You had Simpsons wrestling.
Yeah.
Let's get them all out the way now. Let's get them all out the way.
We don't talk about Simpsons wrestling.
No, I know. Let's not talk about that. Fire Pro.
That was going to be my one for last. That was
Def Jam.
Yeah. Completely forgot about that one.
Everybody's threw their hat in the race beer, haven't they? Everyone did.
Yeah. Obviously,
I'm just trying to think of other. I know, and then you start to get the mobile games and all that as well.
That's what I was
Game
going
Boy.
to.
I'm not even going to talk about the Game Boy games. No. The Nintendo DS and all that. No. Game Boy Color. No.
Before we do it, before you completely dismiss the Game Boy ones, did you ever play WWF Betrayal?
Was that the one where you had to like save Stephanie McMahon?
Yeah. It was on the Game Boy. It was so hard to play.
Was that the one that you had the story mode where you had to save Stephanie McMahon?
I believe so. To be honest, though, I think I bought it when I was big into my Game Boy. I used to play like Mortal Kombat and stuff like that on the Game Boy. I remember it coming out, and I go into my mother and say, "Mum, I need to get this game." I went to play it, and I must have played it 3 times.
Yo, Nick, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's happening, dude? It goes well. Yeah, we played. Me and my brother. We must have played that game 3 times, and then decided
to chuck it on the river.
This is the biggest pile of crap I've ever played in my life.
Yeah, the WWE and WWF Game Boy games.
Betrayal. It was an utter betrayal. I can tell you that for nothing. I can tell you that for nothing.
They were bad.
So let me save you some time, guys. If you've got that game in your collection, get the biggest bootleg you can find and stick it under your foot, because it is absolutely terrible.
Throw it on the river, set it on fire, and then set it on fire more. Was it worse than Fight Forever? Nah. We've got a little bit of a soft spot for Fight Forever. We have on Stadium Stampede, me and you, haven't we? We haven't played it in a minute, though, have we?
Stadium Stampede, for me, saved that AEW game. Don't get me wrong, the gameplay for Fight Forever was good.
It's fun, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's the arcadey feel.
Yeah, it's a fun game. There's not enough content on it, and yeah, they say that they're gonna build on it and stuff like that. Is it gonna be too little, too late? I don't know. Is it gonna be enough to pull people back in? Maybe. Stadium Stampede, though, to have a battle royale with battle royale games are massive. You got your Fortnite, you got
that's the best thing on it.
You know, Stadium Stampede for wrestling and things like that is brilliant.
The Stadium Stampede just Fortnite Battle Royale. It is, yeah, but I don't have to put up with nerds shooting me like old Uncle Stanley Bear.
I do like it.
I'm only kidding, man. I know. I'm just like winding you up, I do, because you do absolutely right. Like, no live, laugh, love, and all that nonsense. Right? You are Fortnite.
I can't help it, man. It is a tremendously fun game when you get, and especially when you're playing it with loads of people. Like, you know, it's a good game. Like, it is good. But going back to what you were saying, Stadium Stampede. Yes, it does have that. I would put it more towards like maybe PUBG and stuff like that. It's got that feel than Fortnite. But it is a full-on wrestling game. You know, a wrestling mode. You've got to wrestle.
Yeah, you can wrestle and fight. The only thing on there, right, you can check those check those bombs, or you can shoot them with those t-shirt cannons. You know what I mean? Yeah,
but it would be that kind of random stuff that would probably happen in the Stadium Stampede match in real life anyway. So I could see Kenny Omega shooting Chris Jericho with a t-shirt cannon. Like.
Yeah. Anyway,
I bet they'd find some way to shoot him with a cannon and the t-shirt actually goes on him.
Can we talk about SmackDown vs. Raw now?
Well,
we're gonna miss a couple here. I know, like Raw came out as well for the Xbox, and then Raw 2 and the GameCube was WrestleMania 19 and all that. I'm gonna miss all them. Sorry if you. Yeah. I know you had Day of Reckoning and Crush Hour. Oh, remember Crush Hour?
Yeah.
Which was just basically WWE Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go straight into SmackDown vs. Raw series here.
Yeah, well, obviously, like I said earlier, it's like we can talk about the WWE games left, right, and centre because there's been so many of them, and there's been so many awesome ones. I would like to give a little bit more love to some of the other not so well-known ones, like and stuff. But we can always get
Backyard Wrestling, and only Backyard Wrestling deserves love.
There's so like, for me, I would say my favourite to play. Like I can actually just go on in and just play for hours.
Celebrity Deathmatch.
I love Celebrity Deathmatch, but no, I gotta go with Fire Pro. Like Fire Pro, I think is
the last
awesome.
one. The last one was the best.
Yeah, the last one is. I would actually put it
how they haven't released a new one, I never know.
I don't understand it either. But the last one, I would say, is probably my favourite wrestling game of all time. I absolutely love it.
Go on, lay it down, Ed.
Like, there's just
Are you sure now? You all of a sudden you started stuttering and going back on your words here. Are you sure that this next game is your favourite wrestling game of all time?
I would, but I would, because the game is just so, like, for an arcade game. It was just so amazingly put together with like the wrestling.
We still talking about Fire Pro?
Yeah, Fire Pro.
The last one.
The very last one. Yeah, it's
great game.
I just love the way the moves look for an arcade game.
I'm so sorry, I read the room wrong there, and I thought you was about to announce your favourite game.
No, we're on about Fire Pro. Let's get back on the same page here now. Come on now.
I read the room wrong.
I think you did. That's Cobra for you.
Yeah.
Beer of the week, ladies and gentlemen. But Fire Pro. I just feel like the gameplay was just, for an arcade style game, was just so well done. Like, you can, like, even when you're doing like intricate submission holds for an old style arcade game, you can see the hold properly. You can see what they're doing. The creator mode is awesome. I know you can create all these different stars and different wrestlers from different promotions and things, and download them for nothing as well, which is awesome. The career mode going through the dojos and stuff like that is wicked.
It's not difficult to make people on that game, I will be honest.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not difficult at all. That's why it's so easy to go. Because it sends you through like a website to download them.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, some of the ones you download, they tend not to work sometimes, but which can be a pain. But
yeah, you got missing parts.
Yeah, but which is a bit of a pain, like, you know. But I love the different styles of matches you can have on there. Like in the actual career mode, like, you know, you're building up to the G1 and things like that. And building up the Wrestle Kingdom. It's just awesome.
What's the name of the guy that you are in career mode? The mask guy.
Oh, what's his name?
Is it like Blue? No, it's not Blue Thunder.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna check this.
No? I can't remember now. But I like the way that I haven't played it for a little while. I know for quite a few.
Bear with me a moment. I need to find out this.
But I love the fact that, you know, it unfolds as well in different ways, like whichever match you win and stuff like that, and if you lose a match, like, you know, it affects how you move on, and it's just really, really well done. I love it. I absolutely love the game.
What's the name? The match. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
I do know what you're on about. And there's so many wrestlers on there as well, like already on the thing.
Super Strong Machine.
Ah, yeah, that's it.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
I know what you're on about now, yeah. But the game is just so good. Like, it's up there for me.
No, but Super Strong Machine is a wrestler.
I can't remember what his name is. It is Blue something.
Oh, don't matter. I'm talking about Super Strong Machine's a wrestler anyway.
It's just so well done, and for an arcade style game, like, you know, it is brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, even when you're in like the barbed wire matches and stuff, and you actually get them to bleed, you can actually see blood in arcade like that. It's wicked. I love it. I do personally. I think it's definitely up there as one of my favourite wrestling games of all time.
Who was the one that recommended the game to you?
you tried for ages to get me to play it, and
I played that religiously for years.
I refused. I was like, nah, it's not for me. It's not my kind of game.
You know what the problem was, right? You were always a WWE guy, and it took me a long time, right, for me to like start putting my little blueprint in there. And then I was like, come over here with me, Uncle Stanley. Come over here with me, Uncle Stanley. There's good wrestling over here. Come over here. You haven't looked back.
The thing is with me is like I've always been a fan of the wrestling in general. I followed New Japan, I followed WCW and TNA and everything like that, and blah blah blah, EW. I've always liked what I've seen, but my primary use of watching wrestling was obviously through the Monday Night Wars and stuff like that, and all my favourites. And when I was a kid, going to SummerSlam '92 and going to see WWF in Cardiff as well for the first time, and it was just that thing of WWF, like many others, because WWF was accessible to everyone. Yeah. I fell in love with WWF, and when WCW started to come in and they started to upset the apple cart a little, and then everyone started to go towards WCW, it just sort of implanted in me to dig my feet in and be a WWF guy or WWE guy, as it is. Like, as I've got, got a little bit more older and actually started getting more tuned to everything around different wrestling companies, I've let myself actually start to enjoy, even though I watched the wrestling before and enjoyed the matches, I never really engrossed myself in them, and it comes to the games as well.
How long have we been friends?
Oh, long time. 16 years maybe? 17 years?
I've always tried to show you other stuff. Don't get me wrong, I am a WWE fan, because that's where, as me and you have always said, that's where our fandom started. But I've always tried to get you to dip your toes in other places that I know you would like. It took me a while to get you to watch New Japan. It took me a while for you to get to watch AEW. But then you enjoyed it. But then you, staying on topic now, you also started enjoying their games.
Exactly. That's what I say. It's just like I said, I've always watched snippets here and there of all different wrestling, New Japan, old fandom and all that stuff, and obviously, like I said, WCW and things. And I've always tapped into playing those games. Like I said, when the TNA was up there as one of the games that in the late noughties, which I loved playing. But it's always stemmed back to obviously WWE, because their content is so accessible, and
it always has been. They've always been the norm.
Yeah.
When WCW went out of business, ECW went out of business, they had no competitors. TNA came along, tried to be a competitor. That didn't go very well. When TNA were supposed to be a company that were the alternative, trying their own thing, they ended up signing a lot of older guys who came from WWE, a lot of guys who came from ECW, a lot of guys who came from WCW. Don't get me wrong, it was great for business, because a lot of those people who I grew up loving had a place to work. But when you're talking about progressing into the future, WWE were always light years ahead. AEW now, they are competition, don't get me wrong, but WWE is such a major, like, they're like a worldwide brand. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When anybody thinks of wrestling, the first thing anybody says is WWF or WWE, because it's been so long where they have just been the norm. It's just been them as just the powerhouse of wrestling. This is why I appreciate watching other wrestling companies, because there's a lot of stuff that WWE do that I like, and there's a lot of stuff that WWE do that I don't like. And there was a very, very long period of time that I didn't really care to watch WWE, so I went elsewhere. But I will be honest, over the last couple of years, WWE seemed to be going in the direction like I like. Especially over the last 2 years. They seem to be going. They seem to be going in that sporting direction that I like.
Well, let me ask you this then. Let me just stop you there. And let me ask you this: do you think from reading what a lot of online reviewing and things like that from people, with the return of WWE doing so well, and obviously bringing better games out nowadays, do you think that's the reason why the Fight Forever game isn't doing as well as what they are? Because, and I'd like to get, if anybody's in the chat as well, I'd like to see how you feel about this. Do you feel that the fact that WWE are starting to pick their game up in terms of their games as well? Because I think if AEW had brought out Fight Forever when 2K20 had come out, I think Fight Forever would have been the better game. I think people would have played Fight Forever a lot more than what they would have 2K20. Now, do you think the reason why the Fight Forever game hasn't done as well as they'd hoped, because 2K22 and 23 and things that have come out and are actually and WWE are actually starting to get their content a lot better?
My honest opinion, as an AEW fan, I love AEW. As you know, I was the one who got you to finally watch AEW, and I've always stood by how much I love AEW. I'm a big indie wrestling fan, and that guide to meet AEW. The biggest reason why AEW Fight Forever is failing at the moment is, I believe, because there is not enough to do on it. You know, the road to the elite and all that.
Yeah,
it's very short. The creator wrestler, it's not fantastic. I know it's supposed to be very, very arcadey, and I know for 1 second it's their first ever video game they've ever released. I'm not expecting it to be the greatest game of all time, but I believe that the game was worked on for so long, by the time it came out, it was outdated.
I think that's one of the things that I was going to say as well, is that I think they just...
We were patient though, man.
Long.
We were patient. We give them the benefit of the doubt. It's the first time they've ever done a wrestling video game. We were patient, man. You know that, right?
We were.
We didn't slate the game. We waited for it patiently. We enjoyed it when it first came out. But then it came to a point. It came to a point where we were like, "What do we do now?"
Don't get me wrong. Overall, I enjoyed the game personally. The gameplay was, the actual wrestling was great to play.
Yeah, the gameplay is fantastic. I really enjoy the gameplay and the movement. That's not what the problem is. The problem is it's very limited to what you can do.
Yeah. To be honest, it was like I felt, especially the fact that they were going with THQ Nordic and things like that. I thought, that they would have had.
Sorry a minute. My wife thinks that Super Cena is a glitch and didn't realise that Super Cena was an actual character on the game. She thought Cena glitched, right?
And you just couldn't see him,
Yeah.
Totally.
No, it was a character.
Nice one. But anyway, going back to what I was saying.
I'm sorry about that. She was she was pointing and laughing. I was like, "What?"
The actual game itself, and like I said, we thoroughly enjoyed it when it came out. The only thing that I didn't like really about the the actual career road to elite and stuff like that. The only thing that I didn't like about it is that you go to those restaurants and things like that, and it just got a little bit silly, shall we say? It just seemed, and you just see them there munching like and.
Oh, I will say one thing, right? And I hope one day they probably don't care, and they're probably never ever going to see this, right? But I'm going to get my voice out, I am, right? Oh, THQ, listen to me now, right? Massively in my bad books. Owen Hart. Still haven't unlocked him, even though I have won over... I have probably done exhibition matches, right, over 200 times. For some reason, it's broke, it's glitched, I still don't have Owen Hart. What are you doing?
THQ, if you're listening, give my boy Owen Hart.
He is the only person I need.
But,
I will actually show you my stats as well. Owen Hart, you have to win 100 exhibition matches. I've probably done that 3 times over. So yeah, THQ Nordic.
Give my boy Owen Hart, like. But this is what, going back to what we were saying. With the AEW having going with THQ Nordic. Obviously, THQ being the one of the biggest producers of WWE's games, especially during the early days in the noughties and things.
Yeah.
I would have thought, with their experience of making brilliant wrestling games, that they would have given their honest opinion. I know that obviously I know Kenny Omega and Aubrey Edwards had a lot of fingers in the game pie, right? But I would have thought they would have gone, right, if you want this game to succeed, you need to put this like this and like this, rather than just let them say, right, this is how we want it, sort of thing. Like, that's personally where I felt a little bit let down by, is the fact that the game didn't seem, maybe they wanted to do something a little bit different, maybe, but surely when you've got a recipe for a brilliant game, you'd stick to that recipe, like. So I just don't understand why THQ didn't with the AEW game.
What was that arcade game that me and you played?
Which one now?
The one where you could be like a fridge.
What was it called?
Was it Arcade Action Wrestling?
Arcade Action Wrestling, that's it.
We bought that, didn't we?
We paid, I think it was £3 whole British pounds for it, I believe. So one game. No,
I just made a noise.
You did, yes, you did, and it wasn't a good noise. It wasn't a noise of acceptance, shall we say?
It wasn't like a ooh.
No, it wasn't an ooh.
It was more of a
But one game that we did download, which the pair of us really did enjoy, you more than me because you was actually really good at it.
What's that?
Was going back. This actually links into what we was on about. And Nick, if you're still there, but this is another one of the battle royale games, but with wrestling. Can you remember?
Rumbleverse, don't know.
Rumbleverse.
Right? No, they got rid of it. It's gone. It don't even exist no more.
I'm really gutted about that.
Yeah, it don't exist. No, it don't exist.
That game was. That game was awesome, and it was really fun.
Why they got rid of that?
You had to unlock all your moves. Like, you'd start off with like a basic body slam and a couple of punching kicks. But as you was going around the map, you'd find like books, which would teach you how to do different moves. And
me and my son, this is no joke now. Me and my son sat here. We turned the PlayStation on, and I hadn't played Rumbleverse in like a couple of months, maybe. Sat here, clicked on Rumbleverse, and a message coming up saying that the fuel game had been discontinued. I was like, what?
That's sad. Like that is really sad. So, creators.
So then we played.
Rumbleverse,
Then we played Retromania.
I've only ever played Retromania when I've come down with you and I've watched you playing it. And
I like Retromania.
it does
And
look
my
pretty
son
good.
and my son likes it.
It does look pretty good, you know.
I do really like Retromania. The only thing I'll say about Retromania is I wish they'd add more stuff to it because the game is great.
I suppose that's something that you'll always find with any. Even we could probably go back into
you get the old
games.
school, you get the old school arcade feel which is great. Like, because if you're looking for that, then yeah, if you're looking for like a WWE like 2K game or anything like that, then Retromania, don't even bother because it's like no what you're looking for. But if you're looking for the old school arcadey feel, Retromania is great. Great. But I tell you what, right? Because we just talking, you know. What's your favourite WWE game? Because we've missed 2K because there's been too many wrestling games in the stratosphere. 2K, it is where it is. I wanted to talk about the soundtracks, but I'll be here till Tuesday otherwise.
Yeah, this is why I'm purposely.
What's your favourite WWE game?
No, this is a tough one. I would.
I'm only asking
probably...
you what your favourite WWE game is because you've already said that your favourite wrestling game is Fire Pro.
Yeah.
WWE have got so many wrestling games here, so.
Fire Pro is up there, I would say, as my as one of my all-time favourites. But WWE game, I would probably either say Here Comes the Pain.
Good choice.
Because I loved Here Comes the Pain. I think it was 2000 SmackDown vs Raw 2007 featuring ECW. Was it 2008?
I think that was 07. Let me think about that because
I think it was 07.
Was that the cover with Undertaker, Lashley?
That's it, yeah.
Hang on a second, I think it was that one.
I think it's 07.
No. 07 was Triple H was on the cover, and then you had like in the background Cena, Rey Mysterio, Batista. I think it was 08. 08 was the one featuring ECW. 08 was a great game. Yeah, 08 was the one with Lashley, Taker, Cena. Yeah, that was the one featuring ECW.
Yeah, that one was good. But I would probably say Here Comes the Pain is probably my favourite WWE game. That would be the one that I played the most. Like
my favourite WWE game of all time. Because I can't pick a single favourite wrestling game of all time because there's been a million. Simpsons wrestling. No, I'm joking.
God, I know.
My favourite WWE game of all time. God.
It's an hard one. It is an hard one.
The first SmackDown vs Raw was good because you had the Buried Alive, remember that?
Oh yeah, that was mega. I forgot about that. Oh, see,
I'd probably say 06. That was the start of the GM mode era, and that was really where the roster started getting really big.
Yeah.
And now there's like 5 million wrestlers on it. So shout out to the 2K men and women.
Yeah, damn right. It's there's been so many awesome
Yeah.
wrestling games in general, because like obviously we always obviously we've said quite a
Oh,
few times on this.
alright. We'll be here for 2 weeks talking about wrestling games, man. The amount that came out, but we were just having a beer and a chat and just hoping that people enjoyed it. So if you enjoy it, cool. If you don't, then sling your rock. I don't care. I mean, we were just having a friendly chat and whatever.
I gotta be honest. Like, it's like with all the games that there are, we, like you just said, we would be here until blooming next week talking about them. But you know, there's a lot of games we haven't even got into, like the mobile games like WWE Supercard and obviously AEW's General Manager and stuff like that, which we could have got into. But
Exactly. It's just gonna if you wanted me and you to sit here and do a review of every single wrestling game that's ever been out, we'll be here for a very, very, very long time.
we would. We most
If you
certainly
want
would.
if you want us to review a certain wrestling game, let us know. I
Yeah,
can do that.
absolutely.
I'm not sitting here and going through all of the wrestling games of all time.
No,
And
so
I will review the best wrestling game of all time, though, Simpsons Wrestling.
ugh. You know what that noise is? Ugh.
That was a shudder. That was.
That was a shudder. That was a shudder in my pancreas. That was.
On that note,
So, on that note, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's tuned in, had a comment and stuff, and enjoyed the ramblings of two crazy idiots
yeah.
that like to just talk grapples and drink beer. So, massive thank you to everybody for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and there's like a little bell, give that a click, and so that you get some notifications and stuff like that.
All our jazz.
Make sure
we ain't YouTubers. We ain't got a clue. Just if you like us, then yeah, cool.
make sure you keep
People on Instagram like us anyway. So come over here.
keep spreading the word on our Instagram. Keep liking and sharing our stuff. We really appreciate it. Yeah, so we are back on a Saturday evening for a live stream on our Instagram. We're going to be reviewing the Royal Rumble, playing some cards, and having a few light cherries and Plowmans. And going to be enjoying ourselves. Hopefully we'll get a load of you in, get your thoughts and stuff like that. And yeah, it's going to be fun. So we look forward to seeing you on Saturday. I have been Smithy G, with me as always, Dr. Lucharos. It's been fun, bro.
Peace out. Have a good one.
Take it easy, guys. We'll see you again soon. We'll see you Saturday.